Then we need to know about the components of an information system. This is general to all information systems. Components of information systems. We have 5 key components of information systems. One is called hardware. And what is this component all about? We are talking about the devices, the computer tangible elements that will help us to implement an information system. The hard disk, like if you're talking about a registration system for an organization, a payroll system, that's an information system. A decision support system, what hardware will help us to implement them? The information system does not run in the blues. It runs on a computer, and that is where we have the hardware. What will support the storage of the information system? That is the hard disk. What will support the processing of data? That is the processor. Now, the other component that we have of an information system is what we are calling software. Software, what is software? The programs that support the execution of the information system activities, that is software. Then we have the data. Number 3, data. In some books, we refer to it as the database. Data talks about the facts that the information system is going to manipulate. That is what we are calling the data. Either we call it the data, or in some authors call it the database. Then we also have the procedures as a component of an information system. The procedures here talk about the general rules or the general methods that we are going to use to execute the activities supported by the information system. And finally, we look at people, which we normally refer to as the users of the information system. There's no information system that can work without users. That gives us the components of an information system. Now, next we look at is an area which will take us a while to cover, which talks about types of IS for decision making. Now, remember, we have types, so many types of information systems. But here we are looking at the various types of information systems for decision making. Take note that an information system does not replace decision makers. It has no capability to make a decision. We install it in the computer system, and we use it to help managers at the various levels of management to make decisions. That's a very key point, that an information system is used to help managers at the various levels of management to make decisions. Like, for example, let's talk about the pyramidal structure. In the computer system, and every time I want to make a decision, I will consult with that information system. It is only that they are helping us, they are automating the process of decision making. We don't have to do guesswork when you're using information systems. So that takes us to the very many types of information systems. One is called transaction processing systems. Transaction processing systems. That's the first information system that we will talk about. Now, a transaction is a series of activities or an activity that is carried out in an organization to help the organization achieve its objective. The TPS is an information system that supports routine decision making. So that tells us the first point is that TPS supports routine decision making. So that means it is relevant or it is used at the operational level of management. If we want to know about the status of the operational tasks or the status of the routine tasks, then we will use the TPS. If we want to ensure that there's rapid response to the queries that customers have given or have placed on the organization, then the TPS will help us. If you want to know the status of order processing, the TPS will help us. It supports decision making at the operational level, enables operational managers to make very fast decisions. If we want to know about the reliability of decisions at the operational level, the TPS will help us. So the TPS, the key point is that it supports decision making at the operational level of management. Operational managers cannot make decisions on their own. They want to control processing of data. That is done by the TPS. We will consult with the TPS and type the question. It's a program. We just type how to ensure fast processing. The TPS will be able to give us a feedback. Now, the other information system for decision making, before I go to that, let me look at the transaction processing cycle. The transaction processing cycle, which relates to the TPS. The transaction processing cycle looks at a number of activities or points. We have input of data. That is the transaction processing cycle. There is the story about data input. Data is fed into the system, and the transaction processing cycle is supported by the TPS. So when I feed data into the system, that data will be processed. And we also have output. And we have storage. That gives us the transaction processing cycle. Data is input into the system. Data is processed, data is given as output, and data is stored for future use. So that summarizes the story about the TPS. Next we look at is what we call, the other information system, is what we call decision support systems.